Today, I'm joined by Jonas, who is a football manager, former player, and is Finnish. In fact, Jonas, we actually share a birthday, so congratulations to that one. But Jonas, how are you doing today?
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to be here with
Absolutely.
you.
Well, thank you for joining me. So do you want to start us off then with when you used to play football when you were younger? Could you start us off with a backstory when you were growing up?
Yeah, I started quite young. I have a lot of siblings with me, and we started to play really young together. And then I remember that my mother forced me to go in the local club. In the practice, I didn't want to go over there, but quite immediately after that, I was so keen on football, and I started to play in the club like 5 years old, and I really enjoyed to play the game, and then from there I started to play, and quite quickly I would say that at my youth age I knowledge that in my area, kind of a small city, I was kind of good player, and if I can say so, maybe a key player in the youth teams.
What was it like in Finland to play football when you were younger? Because I know here in England we certainly don't play inside. We don't really play in snow. So I know in Finland it's very different.
Yeah, but we had already over there in that time we have like indoor halls where we used to practice. Especially when you are younger kids, they usually put them inside if they have possibilities to go inside halls. And then of course when you turn a little bit older, they will put you outside in the winter times. But it's not a problem. We are used to it.
Of course you're used to it. It's that Finnish attitude to keep going.
Yeah.
So the first club that you made your senior debut for was in 2011. Could you talk to us about the whole surroundings of that club and what was it like to play for them?
Yeah, it's a small club and a small city from Rauma on the west part of Finland, Palloirat. Actually, I remember that when I was younger, it was my dream to play in the first team. Always, I want to be there. I watched every home game when I had the chance to go over there and see those players to play, and I always dreamed that I want to play over there. That this is my club, and I want to be there one day. And then, like, I was 18, 19, probably 19 when I made my first debut over there, and was so happy. And I think I played 3 seasons over there before.
Well, you made 80 appearances, over 80 appearances there in the third tier. What's the third tier like for Finland? Because I know the top tier doesn't really get spoken about enough, and maybe the third tier is the same.
Yeah, it's a semi-professional league. Like players they are working over there, but some clubs give some €100. Maybe the best players are getting 1,000 per month, and then in addition you have to work also because that money in Finland is usually not enough. But yeah, semi-professional league.
And what was it like to be in that team? Because I know semi-professional environments are usually a bit harder to work under because you're balancing it in with another job. And I suppose in England, for example, I heard of a story where players have just come back from being a plumber or a bricklayer. They have to have their pre-match training meal and then go straight out onto the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Usually all the players came just straight from the work. Like we had training starting at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and yeah, you get used to it. Of course it's not an ideal situation that you work first 6 to 8 hours and then you have to go for the football pitch and give you everything. It's not the best solution, of course, but you have to do it if you are not getting the better contract from somewhere else.
The first move of your career came to FC Jazz as a player in 2014. How did you get a move from a club for the first time ever? What was that like? And were you a bit nervous?
Yes, I was. I was nervous, but at the same time really excited, of course, to play over there and go over there. It's like the cities are like the rivalry cities over there, Pori and Rauma. The people doesn't like so much each other, and but yeah, really excited to go over there. Higher league, second highest in Finland. The season didn't went so well in the first part, but in the end of the season we were staying in the league, and the goal was achieved on that moment. Good first season over there, and then I continued to go again back to Palloirat.
You retired at a very young age, at the age of 25, in January of 2018. But that was at a club in Helsinki. My word, I can't pronounce this, but was it Ginstan?
Knistan, yes. EF Knistan.
Gistan. Okay, and talk to me about that. And why did you decide to retire?
Yeah, actually, it was 2017 in the April. 2 weeks before the season, I was having the medical. We forced to go because we promoted from third tier to second tier, and we have to go certain medical tests. And then they found some kind of a heart problem in my heart, and it was just a routine 2 weeks before the season, and the doctor said immediately when I was laying down on the bed that your season and probably your career is over, and you have to go to the surgery. And then I have to wait 1 year to get the surgery, and I did it. And after that, I decided that it's not clever anymore to go to the back to the pitch, and I immediately wanted to have a coaching role. And yeah, my career was over after that.
After you had the surgery, was it possible for you to go back into football?
Yeah, I think so. It would be a possible, but I didn't want to go anymore.
Okay. So you then went to Helsinki as a youth coach. And what was that like? Why did you want to become a coach? Why couldn't you have become something else? Like, why did you want to be a coach?
I think that the most important is the love for the game. And the environment where I was growing up, I was always, all my friends are from the football. My family has been watching football. My brothers always watching football, playing FIFA, all these kind of things. So you kind of grew into it. And I was thinking already before that when I possibly stop the playing career, I want to be a head coach and want to continue in the football because I love the game. And then, of course, everything happened a little bit earlier than what I have been taught before. But it was quite natural to go over there, and I was really happy to start my coaching career.
You currently have your pro license, which obviously is the highest license that a manager can achieve. That came about for what seems like quite a short time after you hung up the boots. So were you working on your coaching badges whilst you were looking at retiring?
No, no. Immediately after I started to coach, I was looking how to get into the courses, and I started from the bottom. Like, is it like you have 1 weekend with the FA and you get the basics over there and how to be a coach and everything like this. And I started from there, and gradually I went almost. I tried to go all different kind of courses, and yeah, now I'm actually finishing the UEFA Pro in the next month.
And what does it feel like to do the courses? Because I've heard from different people that the courses are good, the courses are maybe not so good for you. What's the courses been like?
It depends a lot because they have different kind of teams on the courses. Like I would say that in the UEFA B and the UEFA A, it's more about the football, and now in the UEFA Pro, it's more about the management and understanding different kind of people from different culture, and you need to be able to manage those people and the teams, and it's different. We haven't been so into football deeply only about the game. It's more about all the other things and aspects in the game.
And in terms of you being a youth coach, an assistant manager, a manager, what's been the best one for you? What and why?
What you mean? What role? Or
Yes, what role?
of course, I remember really well when I went the first time to Kotka and being the first time the assistant coach in the first team, and we had a really good season over there with Kotka, and we get the promotion. That's of course the really important part in my career and what I enjoyed a lot. We have a good coaching staff, really good team, and the atmosphere over there was really good. And then, of course, also when I got promoted to be as a head coach and we promoted from Ykkösliiga to Ykkösliiga, it's such a nice feeling and yeah, kind of a living a dream over there here in Finland.
And in terms of you winning promotion to the first flight in the top flight in Finland in 2022, how did you do that? And is that the highest and best moment of your career
As a head coach or assistant?
as a head coach?
Yeah, we had some players because we relegated from 23 from Veikkausliiga back to Ykkösliiga, and we could keep some key players from that team, and we knew that these players is going to be a key players in the next season because we wanted to go back because we thought that if you have a chance to go back immediately after you have been relegated, it's much more easier than maybe wait few years. So we could keep those players what we wanted. Of course, not everybody, but most of them what we wanted to keep, and so we have a good structure already with the players. And then for me, it's really important that we can recruit the right kind of players with the money what we have. I think that we made a good success on that. How we could recruit the players, and of course then it's coming to be the coaching staff. How do you manage the team, and how do you coach them on the pitch and everything? So, but
You mentioned it. Go on. Sorry.
the key for me is that the recruitment process is really, really important, and we managed to do it really well.
Obviously, the lag is getting the best of us at some times here.
Yeah.
But in 2023, you guys unfortunately finished bottom of the league. You were relegated, as you mentioned. How do you navigate a club as the coaching staff into thinking a bit more positively and maybe away from relegation?
It's not easy. Yeah, of course, it's not easy. And you try to send a message as a head coach. You try to send a message for the city, for the culture, for the fans, for everybody that. Because it has been like after 2007 when KTP hasn't like stayed in the league. They have been promoting, relegating, and so on. And 2007 has been the last season when they have been staying in the league. And you try to send a message for the fans and for the city that this is going to be the year when we're going to do it. And you try to build the atmosphere for the team that it's such an honor and a privilege to play in this club. It's a good football city in Finland, and it's for me everything starts over there, and you try to build the right kind of a culture over there, and trying to enjoy the moment at the same time when you are really like putting yourself and for the team, for the work.
You appointed a Kotkan manager, I believe I've probably said that wrong, in 2024. And what was that for you? What was it like to be the manager, to be appointed manager, and the whole process of becoming a manager? What's it like?
Like I said earlier, my dream has always been like I want to be coach and the head coach as high as possible. And of course, when the chance came, then the sporting director at that moment said that they would be happy to take me as a head coach. It was like, yeah, now it's gonna be starting my career like really, really what I have always been wanting. Of course, I was happy also as an assistant, but in the like bottom of my heart, I was always not pushing myself, but hoping that one day I could be as a head coach in the good level and in the good environment. And yeah, it was really good time on that moment.
You obviously got promoted again as a manager this time to the top flight of Finland. Am I right in saying that you achieved a really big victory of 21-0?
Yeah, we did it. In Suomen Cup, yeah, we did it. It was like against 4th or 5th division team over there. Yeah.
And what was that like? I mean, to go ahead and shake the hands of the other manager when you've beaten them 21-0 at the end of the game, did you feel a bit maybe embarrassed?
Actually, in the start, they had a good chance in the after 30, 45 seconds. They had a really good chance to go 1-0 up. But after that, the boys who were not playing so many minutes in the league, they were playing in the cup. And I said before the game that now it's your time to show that you belong to the starting 11 also in the league. And it's of course it's not funny when you're leading so much, but I understand also at the same time for the players that they want to show for the coaches that they belong to the starting 11. And for me, when we play football, it's all about the competition, and it doesn't maybe sound good, but I understand the players, and of course I try to push also them to keep on playing, because if like I think it was in the half like 12 or 13-0, and I said to them that we didn't came here because it was a long far away 3 hours trip, I think, and we cannot come here in the second half just walk, because it's a good practice also for us, and same time we are changing some players, and new players again is getting some minutes, so they were really hungry to show for the coaches, and I think that players also enjoyed to get a lot of chances and the assist and the goals, and everything is showing in the transfer market websites, and it looks good that you have been putting some good stats over there. So yeah, it was a weird game.
Well, when you got promoted to the top flight with the side, you're obviously the third youngest manager ever to manage in that league. Is there a big difference between the top two divisions in Finland?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And what is that?
Especially in the Ykkösliiga, a little bit sad, but the top teams in Ykkösliiga is really good. And then in the bottom, the difference is quite big, because of course the budget plays a big role over there. The big teams can buy some players and pay really good salaries, and then maybe the bottom six is like struggling, maybe not financially or every time, but it's not easy for them, and then you need to make adjustments every time how you can get some kind of a players and how much you can pay for those. But it is a still big big difference compared to Ykkösliiga.
And in terms of what happened there, you obviously got relegated in that season. In Finland, and I think in a lot of Scandinavian countries, they have a relegation playoff.
Yeah.
So could you guide us through what happened and what it actually is?
Yeah, it's not so regular always because the FA is changing and trying to find the exact way, what is the best way to play the league. And now in the recent years, it has been so that we're going to play like 2 times against each other, 22 games. And after that, there's going to be top 6 and the bottom 6. Top 6 in the last year, actually, first time they played 2 times against each other. Bottom 6 played only once against each other. I don't know why, but that's how they decided to do it. The last team goes down immediately, and the second last plays against Ykkösliiga second place team, and they're gonna play like two games against each other, and then the winner from there stays or goes back to the Ykkösliiga. But actually, I was sacked 3 games before our regular season stopped, so I wasn't anymore over there on that moment.
And when that happens, though, so when you departed the club 3 games prior to the season ending, and the club ultimately got relegated, you're obviously looking at the results and the fixtures. Do you blame yourself for that? What was your emotion once the side did get relegated?
Really sad, because we had such a strong belief that we can do it for this season and stay in the league. That was our holy and the biggest goal what we had for the season. And of course, I'm sad for the people over there, sad for the fans, sad for the board, and everybody who is over there and breathing and loving Kotka and the Kotka football over there. Of course, in that moment, it wasn't anymore in my hands. But still, I didn't, of course, feel good because I have been part of that club in a long period, and in that moment, I did feel that I didn't we couldn't achieve what we should do it in a way.
What is your routine like when you are in a club? Does it vary from club to club?
I have been in the first team environments all in Kotka, so it's hard to compare to other staff or other clubs, but yeah. I have only been in the first team in Kotka.
And when you were the first team manager, what was your daily routine like on a match day?
On a match day?
Yes.
It depends, it's a home or away, but usually I try to do some small sports in the morning. If it's a home game with the staff, at least few of the staff members, we go jogging, maybe a little bit swimming over there. And then we come together in the locker room 4 hours before the game. And we go still through the game plans. 4 hours before the game, we can see the starting 11s from the both teams. Of course, we want to see the opponent teams, how they are going to trying to find a way how they're going to play against us. And of course, for that, we try to think about the adjustment, what we need to maybe possibly do, and so on. And then it's more about getting mentally ready for the game. It's nothing like, at least I felt that there is not so much to do for the players anymore in the match day. I want them to go for the game with a fresh mind.
Well, it's interesting that you go on, tell me, because I'm interested to know more about the running before a game as the coaching staff.
Yeah, we had actually with my assistant coach, closest assistant coach, I had already few years as a routine that we go for a jogging 40 minutes, really light, as a coaches do. And then in addition, we had between our jogging round, we had a sea next to us, so we jumped over there to have a little swim, and then we go back to the locker room and we can take a shower, have a lunch, and then we go for the game. And that was really nice routine over there.
And in terms of the food provided by the club, I'm presuming because you're in that professional environment, the food club provides food for the players, so they come a bit earlier to eat their food there?
We didn't have a together as a match day. We didn't have a lunch together, unfortunately. We didn't have such a big budget in the club. Of course, that would be the ideal situation to go and be together before the game days. But yeah, the players in the at home games, they ate themselves at home usually, and we didn't have catering together.
Well, you're a very, very young manager with your pro license coming very soon. What's your aspirations coming up next? I know obviously you're probably going to tell me you want to manage in the Premier League or La Liga. This is a really realistic target, so tell me what your ambitions are in the game.
That's a good question, what I have been thinking a lot recent weeks. And but the main thing is that I want to be a head coach, in an environment where I can challenge myself, my thoughts, really ambitions to be every day better. I want to learn every day. Of course, as a, like quite a competitive person I am, I want to be as high as possible. I don't have a target to go Premier League, La Liga. It sounds maybe too stupid to say, but utopistic here for the coach from Finland. But step by step, I try to go a little bit higher and find a way to find a good environment where is a really good coaching staff and the players are pushing and everything. So that is my like dream environment to be in the future.
Have you been looking at any clubs? Have any clubs been contacting you?
Yeah, I have been getting some contract offers, but at the moment not yet what I've been maybe looking for, and that's why I haven't taken those yet. So I'm searching actively at the moment what is going to happen, and but at the same time I need to be like realistic that it's not so easy to get immediately job, and also it's a good time to reflect and study what I can the things what where I can be better for the next job and so on. So it's also a little bit different times in my career at the moment because I don't have a job at the moment. So yeah.
And in terms of you wanting to seek a new job, clubs contacting you, on the game Football Manager, for example, you just click a button to apply, but I suppose in real life it's a lot different.
Yeah, it is. Of course, there's also in the internet nowadays. There's a lot of possibilities to apply, but you know that these positions may be already occupied, or some know somebody. So usually, it's between the humans or contact. You know some agents, you know some sporting directors, and they know somebody. They maybe know you, and they recommend you, and then you get to the interview. So it's not so easy. And when there is like a published open vacancy, it might be that there is thousands of coaches to apply over there because it's so competitive at the moment in the world, like for the players also. So it's not easy to even get to the interview.
Well, Jonas, I really appreciate you joining me today. All the best with your career, and hopefully we see you in a job sometime soon.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to be